back over to John. Thank you.
Al, those were great table topics. Thank you for that. Our first evaluation for speaker number one is going to be done by Brendan. Okay. The evaluation for Pete Borden, please.
First, by giving my initial observations, and then I'll go to the formal evaluation. I remember you giving something similar to this before, and I don't know if it was supposed to be a persuasive speech or not, but I do remember comments about something about sort of a balance of delivery and or some obscure facts, and then a use of, I think it may be a little more reliance on notes in a previous version of this. First thing I noticed was how you added more voice to this version of that presentation, and going to the audience right out of the gate with the beginning of this speech. So it is the persuade with power speech. I think what I noticed is it's one of those persuasive speech that I remember seeing at a contest where someone both tells a personal story, but they're able to add some facts that they learned because of their personal situation, and then they say, "Oh, this could happen to you too. So listen up." Yeah, and I think that's the kind of persuasive that hits the right spots, emotions, interest of the audience. It's a perfect subject for a persuasive speech. So the evaluation asks, was he logical? Did he use logic and emotion? I would say yes, and some of the facts you did about emergency rooms and the symptoms, all across the board, you gave it to us. And the audience was definitely engaged. There was a lesson to be learned from this speech. You need support around you, and when times are tough like this, and it disrupts your job, your day-to-day life, so it's a challenge. As for suggestions, because I was observing, I want to say perhaps it felt a little bit rushed and a lot of information, which is a common issue. But I would say I understood the words, but it would benefit you to not rush. I think the use of notes, I'm supposed to comment on notes, I didn't find a real problem with use, but the use of notes tends to have people rush because they're trying to balance getting information from the notes and the eye contact, and that tends to force people to rush a little more than they want to. But overall, it's a really great emotional, persuasive speech, and as I said, it reminds me of some of the best persuasive speeches I've ever heard. So I think it was a success. Well done, Peter.
I think you grabbed my agenda, Brendan.
Oh, I thought you read too many pieces of ink. Is that all?
That's it. And the glowing theme for Beth is in here.
All or nothing kind of guy.
You need an agenda?
No, I'm good. Okay, the evaluation for speaker number 2 in speech 200, Robert, is going to be performed by all of us. Mahesh, can you just keep time of it too so that we can stay within the time limit? So does anybody have any comments for Robert? Mary Alice?
Very funny, effective speech. I loved the phone call from your sister-in-law.
Al?
Really enjoyed the speech. I echo everything that Mary Alice said. My only comment would be there are times, even sitting here, I had trouble hearing it.
Thank you. Harvey?
Yes, I agree with Al. It was a very entertaining, funny speech. My problem is I have trouble hearing anyway, and then the sound of the air conditioning plus your tendency to drop your voice made it very difficult at times to hear what you were saying.
Thanks.
Beth?
Very entertaining. The only suggestion I would make is that it was hard for me to distinguish when you were transitioning story to story to story. And I was listening for the common link, and it wasn't until I realized it was just another story that I said, oh, this is another story. So I don't know whether in body language or pause or something, you could let the audience know that that story is done, and oh, you know, I'm going to tell you about this one now, because I got kind of fuzzy for me.
Appreciate it.
Pete?
I agree with everything that's been said. I really liked it a lot. This was actually the first time that I had trouble hearing you, and it's because the air conditioning is right behind me. And so that I definitely noticed that. And I also noticed what you said, that I didn't realize you would morph from one topic to another for, I don't know, it would take me 10 or 15 seconds. I go, oh, he's on a different topic now. So maybe you have to pause, stop, stop for 5 seconds so there's a clear dividing line. But especially when the air conditioner is doing its thing, and you've morphed into another speech, another topic, it was hard for me to tell.
I could say, and now onto audio. Hear this.
Well, any kind of transition you want to use, you could use.
Introduction, like a dot, dot, dot. Yeah.
Here's something else I
You
want
could
to
say-
tell you about.
And now for something completely different. That's tried and true, right?
Yeah. Okay.
I had one comment too. I've heard you speak, I think probably just 3 or 4 times, but I don't know where the physical room is going to be like when you speak to the Rotary. But I find that when you're out, and your body language and the way that you carry yourself brings us into listening to you. And I didn't get that when you were behind the podium. So I mean, if you're in an auditorium and you have to do that, but if you have the opportunity to get out, you do an unbelievable job at that and drawing us in. So that would be my comment.
Yeah, so just a little comments, obviously, about hearing everything said. But what I also liked was the voice modulation. I think you used your voice modulation a couple of times. And the only 2 things, if you ask me, that I would remember, the one is voice modulation that you use effectively, and the story you had with your sister. So I think that was very, very, very funny. Thank you.
I thought that the strengths of the speech were when you did the different dialogues in the stories that you told, and I think actually the point thing is that the multiple stories I thought maintained interest, but to transition for them it might be something to add.
Thank you, Brendan. Yeah, I like that format. I don't
Yeah, I
know
do
if
too.
you guys do, but I thought hopefully you got something out of it. I thought it was constructive feedback.
Terrific stuff.
So,
Yeah, a positive doesn't help. Constructive criticism is what I seek. And I appreciate every word that you guys say.
great.
Everything.
Grammarian report. Harvey,